Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So, I made a video about a month ago, almost a month ago, letting you guys know that I switched back to using the iPhone 8 Plus over the iPhone 10. And my reasoning for that was my reasoning. I want you guys to always make your own choices when you're shopping around for devices. But this will be a quick discussion video on why I still believe that the iPhone 8 Plus is the smarter and better choice than picking up the iPhone 10. Now, the iPhone 10 obviously is the first generation of this product line from Apple, and Apple has clearly said that this is the future. They didn't say that this was the future. They said that the iPhone 10 was the future. And so you have to keep that in mind. But there's a couple things about the iPhone 10 that I just don't like, and it's the way Apple does things is pretty much when it comes to their phones. Getting the iPhone 10 fixed or repaired if you break it is very expensive if you break that back panel. I mean, over $500, and the phone starts at $1,000. So it's kind of a situation where Apple wants you to just go ahead and buy another phone. That's pretty much the way I view that, because as a customer, I wouldn't pay $500 to get my current phone fixed, especially if it's banged up or nicked up or scratched up. I would just go ahead and get a new one. And I think that they know that. That's that great marketing that Apple has to try to convince you that you're making a good choice. When, to me, purchasing the iPhone 10, I just don't see it as a good option at this moment. For me, that is. If you have an iPhone 10, remember I bought the iPhone 10. I had it for about 2 months, and I started using the iPhone 8 Plus again. That was just a personal choice because I felt like this is not a wise choice for a number of reasons that I named in the previous video, so I don't really have to touch on it too much. But again, simple things like unlocking your phone without looking at your phone became important to me, and I didn't realize how important it was until after I had to do it the other way. And overall, the experience with the iPhone 10 was really great. But I still think that, like I said before, the iPhone 8 Plus is a smarter choice for the pricing, the real estate of the display. Now, a lot of people get into this. iPhone 10 has the biggest display. Well, okay, it is edge to edge, and it looks like it's the bigger display. But when you get down to real estate and canvas, you're not getting the bigger display. You're getting less real estate on your phone that you're going to be using. So you got to keep that in mind when you decide to make certain purchases when it comes to Apple. You got to really weigh out your options for everything. The fact that they're only offering a 64 and a 256 for all these new models is kind of frustrating to me, because they're charging you $150 to do a memory upgrade. And when it comes to the iPhone 10 opposed to the iPhone 8 Plus, there's a big gap there. It takes you well into $1,400 depending on where you live with your taxes and things like that. And that's, when you think about that, you can buy a MacBook Pro. You can get a full-blown computer from Apple and buy an iPhone SE, if you were into that. If you're going to spend that kind of cash. But when I purchased the iPhone 10 the first time, I had a great experience with it at first, but I knew, and I said it about 4 months back, I'm probably going to get tired of unlocking my phone with my face. And that happened at about 2 months in after owning it. Just having to always look at my phone and not having another option to unlock without looking at it got a little frustrating. So I talked about that in another video, but this video, again, quick discussion. I think the iPhone 8 is better for those reasons that I've named in this video and previous videos. Just the overall experience on here. I know the phone is a little bit bigger in size, a lot bigger in size, but this is, to me, the best option that Apple has to offer at the moment. As far as the cameras go, some people have said, oh, Jay, you don't get the new cameras. Well, sure, you get the new cameras. I think you're just still reading the brochure if you feel that way about what Apple's told you had to believe, because you just don't have optical image stabilization on the rear cameras together, on both. That's pretty much it. Having had both, the experience with it is the same. The quality of product, the pictures that you get is the same. I think sometimes people kind of talk themselves into believing that they're getting something great because someone else said it was great. But this phone does cost less, and you're getting the same experience. You're going to get the same experience on the iPhone 8. The quality that comes from the iPhone 8, it too shoots in 4K at 60 frames per second if you want it to. So the camera footage is going to be just as good. But as the average consumer, sometimes people watch these fancy commercials that Apple brings out with the animojis, or they tell you, we shot a full movie on the iPhone 10. But what they don't tell you is they shot a full movie on an iPhone 10 on a camera rig that was like $10,000. Yeah, they don't show you. They did all this extra special stuff, but they show you what they want to show you. So as a regular consumer, I would always advise you definitely should do your homework, do your research, and try to find out with use. And the good thing about the Apple store is that you can walk into an Apple store and stay in there for hours. They won't say anything because they figure, well, this person's eventually going to buy something. And in most cases, it happens for a lot of people. So it's your man Jay Will, iPhone 8 Plus. Still a go in my book over the iPhone 10 at this point. For all those that love to comment and say, you know, the iPhone X is better. Well, shoot some reasons as to why it's better. Because remember, I bought the iPhone 10 at launch, and my experience with it, I don't think it's the better device, especially for what happens if you. Some people don't even have Apple Care either. And I feel sorry for those people that don't have Apple Care, because with Apple products, especially an iPhone, they jack the price up on it, obviously. But you probably should, you know. I don't know what the deductibles are for the iPhone for Apple Care, but for the 10, I think it's pretty. I know it costs $500 or more than $500 to get that back panel fixed. But you know, the iPhone 10 again, for iPhone 10 owners, fantastic phone. It's a great phone. I liked it while I had it, but it just played out really, really fast. And I did good, because you guys know I don't really like iPhones too much, but I do keep the latest iPhone on deck at all times for usage. I might decide to use an iPhone and put my SIM card in it, and it'll be good. So there's a lot of pluses to this phone. The battery life is fantastic. Screen is great. Even though it's a 1080p display, you know, it's still good. The front camera is better than the iPhone 10's front camera in my usage, and the rear cameras are the same. So I don't know what I'm missing out on. It's your man Jay Will. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.